stool. Almost took Justin out in the second round. It looked like he had really tried to finish Justin, and then Justin started landing bombs in the third round. Ilia had slowed down quite a bit. Justin had him down with his two hands and just knee into his rib cage. You could see him go like that, and that was the end of the round. The end of the fourth round, Ilia quit on his stool. Both of his eyes were swollen shut. His nose was up. He'd taken so many punches to the face. That was the greatest fight of all time. You know, I'm a giant Ilia Topuria fan as well, and I think he'll be back better than ever. And I think sometimes a loss is like one of the most important things a fighter can ever have, because they realize like you can be beat, and you need to know that you're a human. You need to know that you can't just throw caution to the wind sometimes. You just engage in these wild scraps. Sometimes you have to be a little bit more tactical. Sometimes you got to realize like you can't take everybody out, and that's the case with Justin. He couldn't take him out, and he almost did in the second round. Got real fucking close.
The debate has split the MMA world into two camps. One side believes every fighter deserves the chance to go down fighting, while the other insists that a referee's primary duty is to stop about the moment a competitor can no longer defend themselves intelligently. That is exactly why the aftermath of Ilia Topuria's devastating loss created such a fierce controversy. Fans across the sport are still arguing over whether the referee allowed the punishment to continue for too long or whether the stoppage came at precisely the right moment.
He reacted, and he must have said no more.
I mean, he wanted to continue to fight, let the guy go. So he sits in the corner, tells his cornerman he can't see. And then he's got the doctor doing the eye test, and the doctor's saying no. It's like, oh, this fight's fucking over. But then they let him continue. But I don't know who threw in the towel in the fourth. It's almost like Goddard said, the fight's fucking over.
No, his brother said we're going to keep fighting, and then he looked into his brother's eyes, and then he waved it off.
Ilia literally could have walked off and been champ. If Ilia, when he hit him with that liver shot and Gaethje kind of went down, if he would have walked off, the ref would have stopped that fight. If you get hit with those liver shots and you kind of cramp up, you can't just get up. You kind of just are there down for a sec. So if he walked off and Gaethje's just laying there, maybe the ref tries to stand him up.
Had the fight been stopped under different circumstances, the reaction may have been very different. However, what has fueled such passionate debate is the mindset shared by nearly every professional fighter. Most competitors never want a referee stepping in on their behalf because they believe a single punch or one decisive moment can completely change the direction of a fight, regardless of how difficult things look. That unshakable confidence and refusal to give up are defining qualities of the elite athletes who compete at the highest level.
Probably the greatest fight of this year. Ilia Topuria taking on Justin Gaethje. Now I'm gonna start off right here. I was one who picked against Justin Gaethje. When you look at Justin Gaethje's previous fights, when he's fought Dustin Poirier, when he's fought Charles Oliveira, when he's fought Khabib Nurmagomedov, when he's fought Eddie Alvarez, Justin Gaethje gets dropped. He gets dropped and he gets finished. I mean, that's something that we've seen time and time again in his career. And what would make no different when he's fighting a guy like Ilia Topuria, where Ilia Topuria, what he does is he puts people to sleep. Max Holloway puts him to sleep. Charles Oliveira puts him to sleep. Alex Volkanovski got put to sleep. And you guys might hate me for this, but the best thing Justin Gaethje can do is retire. He should retire on this amazing victory against a legend like Ilia Topuria. I mean, I keep saying Ilia Topuria's a legend. He's still young in his career, but he's a phenomenal athlete. You retire on top. You save your brain cells. You ride off in a sunset. You beat one of the best athletes. You gave him his first fucking defeat right away with the White House belt and the
mindset that drives a fighter to become a champion is often the very reason they refuse to accept defeat, even after their body has been pushed beyond its limits. Looking back at the contest, many observers believe Justin Gaethje gradually seized control by applying relentless pressure from round to round. He consistently denied Ilia Topuria the opportunity to settle into a rhythm, forcing constant exchanges, varying his attacks, and steadily building momentum as the fight progressed.
Cheated or anything. I'm just saying, I guarantee you don't want to go into battle thinking, had this huge fight with my wife. You don't want any of those thoughts in your head before a fight.
I mean, Ilia Topuria, in previous fights, you could tell he always had like his family, his wife, his kids. I just watched a documentary that came out on Ilia Topuria, and he was just talking about how much he loved his girl, and that could have been his fault that they got a divorce. I wonder how much that had to do with everything.
It had everything to do with everything. It's all connected.
Yeah, Ilia's in the hospital. He's busted up. You know, I'm not a doctor, but his eye looked like he probably has broken orbital. I don't know that's not a fact, but I'm just assuming. And my plans for him are to go home and rest and recover and take his time. And you know, tonight was a rough night for him. I just want to make sure he's healthy and good. And Not even thinking about him fighting again. Just want him to go home and relax.
As the fight moved into the championship rounds, the amount of punishment Ilia Topuria had taken became the center of attention. Many believed the damage had reached a point where the possibility of a comeback was becoming increasingly unlikely. It was at that moment that the debate truly intensified. When should a referee step in to protect a fighter? Should competitors always be given every possible chance to recover, or is it the official's responsibility to end the contest the instant a fighter is no longer able to defend themselves intelligently?
Now, I don't know what the truth is, but all these reports are that he has 2 fractured orbitals and a broken nose. Just that alone, just the orbitals alone, like anytime you've got eye injuries, like anything severe with your eyes, long-term consequences vary. You know,
it's psychological.
Absolutely.
And your body heals.
And physical.
The body is resilient.
Like, I'm telling you,
broken bones make stronger bones. Like that is his orbital bones will be stronger.
It depends on where, though, Justin. The orbital bone, I had my orbital broken, and for 6 months I would do this and my tooth would move, and it's right where my sinus cavity is. You remember when you hit me with the spinning elbow?
Your tooth would move,
dude.
When you push
right
on
here,
your cheek,
and my tooth would move.
Oh, God.
I still feel the soft spot, but this is a very weak area where your sinus cavity is. And you broke both or.
The question has divided the MMA community for decades, and even today there is no universally accepted answer. Many respected coaches, trainers, and analysts argue that protecting a fighter's long-term health should always take priority over the final result of a contest. Although fighters often resist stoppages in the heat of battle, history has shown that many later admitted an earlier intervention may have saved them from far more serious and lasting damage. For that reason, discussions following a brutal fight often extend well beyond who won or lost. Attention quickly turns toward the athlete's recovery, rehabilitation, and the process of rebuilding both their physical condition and their confidence before returning to competition.
Forward with their hands down on the opening bell, you're going to get walloped.
People saying I'm juiced, what a compliment. People saying I got bricks in my fucking gloves, what a compliment.
Do you see the picture of the image? There's like rocks in his hands.
What a compliment.
Have they not watched any of his fights?
As ambitious as you are, you can never make everybody happy.
No.
That's why it's hard to be a champion.
Which sucks.
The pressure.
You know for a fact, you do not ever as a fighter say, I cannot see. It's over.
Right.
And he was counting on that. He said he had already stated it. He didn't need to say it again. I stopped him twice. That night. There's no.
Facial injuries, vision problems, and extended recovery periods can affect much more than a fighter's physical health. They often interrupt training, disrupt timing, and impact the confidence required to perform at the highest level. Returning to competition too quickly can create even greater obstacles, which is why patience is widely viewed as an essential part of a successful comeback. Despite this setback, many believe the loss could become a turning point in Ilia Topuria's career. MMA history is filled with champions who responded to difficult defeats by returning with sharper skills, a stronger mindset, and a more complete overall game. In many cases, a loss exposes weaknesses that victories can easily conceal, providing valuable lessons that shape the next stage of a fighter's journey. Now the attention turns to Topuria's next move. Will he make a quick return against another elite contender, give himself additional time to recover completely, or use this experience as an opportunity to evolve into an even better competitor? Whatever decision he makes, one thing is certain: interest in Topuria has only increased. Fans are now just as eager to see how he responds to adversity as they are to watch him compete again, because some of the greatest comeback stories in MMA begin after the most difficult setbacks. When he eventually steps back into the octagon, the spotlight won't be focused solely on the outcome of the fight. It will also be on the fighter he has become through overcoming adversity.